Before multi-drop networks, industrial wiring was a physical nightmare. Every single sensor, valve, and motor on a factory floor required its own dedicated pair of wires running all the way back to the control room. Profibus replaces that massive copper web with a linear bus topology. Up to 126 devices daisy chain onto a single shared twisted pair cable, slashing infrastructure costs and clearing out the physical clutter. To keep traffic moving, a central master controller, like the PLC module shown here, acts as the director. It uses a token passing protocol and cyclical polling to continuously check in with each connected device, ensuring predictable, synchronized data flow. But consolidating thousands of independent lines into one shared highway creates a strict bottleneck. The network is now bound by hard physical constraints regarding electrical load and distance. If an engineer pushes the system past these mathematical thresholds, the deterministic timing breaks down. As signals collide and critical data drops, an entire multi-million-dollar robotic assembly line instantly seizes mid-operation, paralyzing production. Every node connected to the trunk cable adds electrical resistance and capacitance. Because of this accumulative load, a single segment maxes out at exactly 32 devices. Force a 33rd device onto the segment, and the signal collapses into unreadable static. You cannot daisy chain indefinitely. This absolute loading limit requires engineers to partition large industrial networks into isolated physical blocks. This cap of 32 nodes has nothing to do with software licenses. It is an unyielding law of electrical physics governing the copper wire. There is a strict inverse relationship between signal speed and cable distance. At 12 megabits per second, your segment can only reach 100 meters. Drop the speed to 93.75 kilobits per second, and the signal travels up to 1200 meters. Regardless of length, the physical ends of every segment must be capped with a 220-ohm terminating resistor. These resistors absorb the electrical pulse at the end of the line, preventing the signal from bouncing back and destroying the subsequent data packets. Engineers must also strictly minimize stub lines, the short drop cables connecting an individual device to the main trunk. If these drops exceed limits based on the network speed, they create secondary reflection points that degrade the main signal. To bypass the 32-device limit and build larger systems, we use repeaters. A repeater takes the incoming electrical signal, cleans it up, and rebroadcasts it onto a fresh, electrically isolated segment. By linking up to 10 of these isolated segments and carefully balancing the speed-to-distance ratios, an engineer can expand the footprint to support the protocol's absolute addressing limit, 126 synchronized devices. Standard Profibus wiring operates safely on a typical factory floor. But move into a chemical processing plant where flammable gases fill the air, and standard RS-485 electrical currents risk triggering a catastrophic explosion. To enter these volatile zones, the network passes through a DP-PA coupler. This bridge physically alters the signal, dropping the data speed to a fixed 31.25 kilobits per second to create a Profibus process automation, or PA, segment. Profibus PA achieves intrinsic safety by sending power and data over two wires. Devices draw DC voltage while communicating via an AC data wave riding on top. If the wire shorts, the energy spike is mathematically capped, preventing any ignition spark. By sacrificing the high-speed data cycles of the factory floor, Profibus PA prioritizes safety and survival. It allows operators to control highly volatile environments using the exact same continuous communication network. This chart shows the complete Fieldbus ecosystem. A master controller oversees standard devices. Repeaters bridge isolated segments. Terminators cap the ends, and a coupler extends the system into intrinsically safe zones. But this calculated design instantly falls apart if the physical installation is flawed. Using uncertified, poorly shielded cables is one of the quickest ways to introduce communication errors. Failing to ground the shield at a single point, or routing the communication wires too close to high-voltage power lines, introduces severe electromagnetic interference that will scramble the data packets. Industrial operations rely on precise timing. Ensuring a facility runs without interruption means respecting the physical constraints, isolating the electrical loads, and treating the network as a rigorously calculated machine.